in the center, that's why. So better. Good job, never. Just getting set up here. It's ready to start. Good rising, great awakenings, DJ X3 was here with me yesterday. I hope you all are doing well. I'm setting up the chimes. I couldn't get the heater. Let's see if you want to. So if you want to come on here. Oh, good rising, great awakening. See you on YouTube as well. I'm setting up the chimes. Couldn't get the heater connected. We're really fortunate it's not so cold today, but tomorrow night it's supposed to be 7 degrees. So I'm wrapping my brain around that. All right, so welcome to Wellness Wednesdays at Good Rising TV. My name is Tachia, aka Aretz, and I want to thank you for dropping by. Don't really have a plan for today. I do have the chart for today, so let me put that up. Here. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, so this week I am venturing out into new territory. I started offering the yoga class on Tuesdays online. I've never tried the subscription services before, so I'm planning to try to do that for the yoga class and something extra special for Wellness Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, the music and guided meditation. And those are for this virtual temple membership is the idea. So I hope you all are able to or interested in participating in that. Let's see here. Oh. These portable cups, every time I try to pour from one, this one, it spills and makes a mess. I have to remember to take the lid off because this is the second time I've done that. It's very spot. Okay, so yeah, there's the chart. I'm going to finish putting up the chimes. It should just be another minute or so. I haven't even really looked at it that well. Oh, right, we have some things going on in the Ophiuchus today. Mercury is retrograde. Yeah. Let's see. What are the most important things? Wow, there's a lot of retrograde activity. We've got Jupiter, Sedna, Uranus, Chiron, and Mercury. And of course, the nodes. Oh, and Mars. Wow, that's a lot of retrogrades. Good rising, great awakenings. Well, sounds like I should just do the retrogrades. I had a chant for the retrogrades. Let me see if I can find it today. Let's put it out sooner. No idea where it is. So right now I'm looking to see if I can find this chant that I had for the retrogrades, which is probably what I should have been doing all along. I saw it best. Well, how are you all doing while I'm looking for this chant? How's everyone doing? I have been going through a difficult, challenging time, questioning myself, doubting all my decisions, wondering, what am I doing here? What am I going to do? You know, fun stuff like that. I don't see it right now. I wonder if I have it on my computer. That would be amazing on my computer. Wait. Okay. All right, I'm going to see if it's on my computer. I haven't used that chant in forever. Just been preoccupied. Oh, thank you so much for tapping the screen. Let's see. Portal opening. Portal opening. Retrograde. So maybe it's under retrogrades. Retrograde. Don't see it. Of course, now I'm obsessed with finding it. Okay. Obsessed with finding it. Yeah, that is not good. I don't know where that song is. Where else could it be? Where else could it possibly be? Okay. Nope. Okay. I don't know where it is. All right, so I have to accept I don't know where it is. Okay. Oh wait, there's one more place I can look. I'm so stubborn that way. Maybe it's over here. Look down. That's gonna bother me for eternity. I didn't know where that song is. I didn't realize all these planets were retrograde. I knew Mercury was retrograde. I didn't know. Oh, yeah. All right then. Well, that's that. Don't know. We just have to improvise. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it moving. Oh my goodness, you're tapping the screen so much. And find it another way. All right, so let's see. I'll make a list of the ones that are retrograde. I didn't even know. Okay, so the ones that are retrograde, notebook is covered in tea. All right, so yeah, so I'm just going to set up the chimes for the planets that are in retrograde. And we'll have a little fun with that. So we have Mercury, of course. Mercury is retrograde in Ophiuchus. And Chiron is retrograde and still in Pisces, sidereal Pisces. These are the 13 month sidereal, by the way. And Uranus, or Heru, is retrograde in Taurus. Sedna is retrograde in Taurus. And Jupiter is retrograde, or Amun, is retrograde in Taurus. And Mars, or Set, is retrograde in sidereal Cancer. So no, Capricorn. Okay. So I'm going to pull the chimes for that, and then we'll have a little discussion, and then we'll have some fun. Sip the tea before it gets cold. The last time we were on here, the app that I usually use for astrology charts wasn't accessible to me. So we didn't get to do this last time. Okay. We always start with Anpu, of course. Put that one down. Mercury and Sagittarius. Chiron and Neptune. Haru. Sedna. Oh, yeah. Where would they be? Uh-oh. Seems to have misplaced them. Very strange. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know where they are. Oh my goodness. Very peculiar. Seems to have misplaced a few of them. I'm stuck in this. This is impossible. This is not happening. Yeah, because the case is in. Oh, you know what? They're upstairs. I gotta get it. No, they're not upstairs. Where are they? This is really weird. Okay, we just have to keep going. I don't know where they are. Okay. All right. So. Sedna on Set. Into Taurus. Okay, here we go. This is really weird. I don't know. Seems like some of them are missing. Okay. And with Set and Capricorn. So these are chimes that are tuned to different planetary frequencies. as calculated by Kepler, way back in the day. He studied with the ancient Egyptians, you know, for sure. And when I play the chimes, I chant the names of the Neptune associated with that planet or constellation. And the idea is that it activates these forces within us and helps us to process all these energies. Two, seven, Taurus. So that's what we're going to do now. Thank you for being patient. I'm not the most organized person. And so yes, I'm missing the regular size set now. I only found the big one. I'm not sure what else is missing. Choose weird. And of course, I have misplaced the lyrics. And then all these planets are retrograde. Of course, we're going to stop looking for them. I don't open them. What else did I call it? Retrograde. Let's do one more time for that. And then we have Chiron in Pisces and Mercury in Ophiuchus. And then you always start with Anku, the opening of the waves. I have to get that one. Oh, TikTok again. You can see the chimes. So I'm going to take the chimes down, the chart down. Now. Okay. All right, there they are. And you can't see them all. Alrighty. One more place. Okay. All right. So we have the chimes here for the planets that are retrograde at this moment. Mars is retrograde in Sidereal Capricorn, or Dua Set, Dua Capra. Of course, we start with Anku, the opening the way. And then we have Heru, Sedna, and Ahum, or Uranus, Sedna, and Jupiter in Sagittarius. Apis. That would be Heteru. I might say Heteru, I might say Apis. Apis is the Unitarian name for that constellation. Yeah, I'm looking here. See that door. Okay. And Uranus, and Chiron is in Psyche of Neptune, or Imhotep Nebuchadnezzar. And Mercury is retrograde in Ophiuchus. I don't say sidereal Ophiuchus because Ophiuchus is only in the sidereal system. So I might want to go today. Yeah, that one sounds better. Okay. are safe. You are kept alone. You gone through. I open the way. I know the real from the unreal. Expressing healing through the cosmic mind of creation. This portal is open to receive divine intelligence. Move forward in life and beyond. You can hold it. You never get. Releasing emotions, this cleansing and healing. Let them flow. Your creativity. You quero, Luxana, Nugamun, Nukataru. This portal is open for freedom from violation to expansion of this realm. Freedom in this plane of time and space. See the beauty in adversity. To be free. See the beauty in adversity. To expand consciousness. Look You can transform your Transform yourself. Turn away from the ego. Turn away from material self, which is worry and suffering. Transform your ego self into divine protection. Unknown yourself is your protection. Without yourself, peace, 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 peace. All right. My goodness. Well, that was really my self-care. Is this still DJ X3? Yeah, that was really a message for myself today because I've been just not knowing why I feel this way, and I forgot that so many planets were in retrograde. So this is a reminder to me. Let me get my key. If anyone else is going to be watching this. Yeah, there's how many planets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets are retrograde right now in sidereal system. So that's enough to take somebody off their remain seated on my inner throne and not be moved. I think I've been moved a little bit by all of this. Mystical soul, good rising, great awakenings. Yes, this is the 13-month sidereal astrology system. I haven't been keeping up with the Western system. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, like I said, that was really a message for me. The one at the end there, the set egoism in sidereal Cancer, which is Kepra, the scarab, grand rising, great awakenings. And so when I went on to this spiritual journey, what started in 1980, I guess it started in 84, 1985. I had no idea about life in 2024. I didn't have a plan. I don't have, just been living kind of off the grid for so long. And at some point you always wonder, well, what am I doing? Am I making the right choice? Is this what I'm really supposed to be? Things like that. We didn't get to see all the chimes. Here we go. So that was a really good one for me at the end, because I've learned how to identify my egoism and others, right? Seeking others and learning how to navigate. But when circumstances and everything in my environment is just out of my control, things are going on out of my control, you just really start to question yourself and things like that. So at the end, what came through was learn how to transform my ego so that it's working for my higher good rather than just being fearful and, scarcity, lack, all the things that are wrong. And what was the other one? See it as my protection, but not identify with it, because that's where I was going wrong. Yeah, judgment. I would identify with it. And that's the lesson I learned from Sibajah is you don't identify with it. And, not to be complaining, but my little website I've been working on for so long, it got hacked with all this toxic information, and I didn't know how to fix it. And people that said they could help me, they didn't know how to help me. And then when it got cold, the pipes burst because I forgot to leave the water running in a faucet that I forgot that floor was on, and there's a wall of ice down there, and it's going to be 7 degrees tomorrow. So all this is just kind of freaking me out and doubting my decision to move here and to stay here and to try to offer healing and music, and just it's really a crazy space to be. But yeah, it was just a reminder there are 6 planets retrograde plus the 2 nodes, and just you don't want to make huge changes like this during a retrograde time. And also at Horoscope system, we don't see the retrogrades as a negative. Like in some systems, the retrograde, I'm trying to stay positive. Yeah. Well, it's not even about trying, because what is it if you're trying, you're not really doing it. So we have to remain positive, remain seated on my inner throne and not be moved. It's a lesson. It's a challenge. Oh, my sister is here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, a challenge. I mean, you could take it either way. You could take it as a challenge to not give up, or take all this adversity as a sign to change your direction, your path. You always have that choice. You can always choose to get off the journey or to keep going. Those are your 2 choices. So, yeah. And then the other one was about when Mercury is retrograde, that's divine intelligence, cosmic mind, right? The cosmic mind of creation is beaming this lesson of healing and wellness to us. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When at horoscopes, when planets are retrograde, that's why I was trying to find the chant that I had. I have this beautiful chant that I had, and I don't remember it because I haven't been paying attention. But when planets are retrograde in the Western system, it's like, oh no, when Mercury is retrograde, don't make any decisions, don't travel, don't do anything, don't make any changes, don't sign contracts, don't do anything. And here it came to me that when it's retrograde, it's an opening. It's a portal opening. It's a way to have really quick, intense transformations involving those energies. And if you've ever seen the chart, it shows them, because it's an illusion. Planets don't actually go backwards because of the shape of the orbit. It looks like it's going this direction, and then it seems to stop, and then it seems to go back for a little while, and then it goes forward again. Let's see if I can trace that out on TikTok so you can see it. So it's like goes this way, and then it stops, and then it goes back, and then it goes forward again. And it looks like an opening. It looks like the symbol for my name, Arit, or the shape of the eye without the eyeball. And so it came to me, well, this is an opening. This is like, it's like taking an elevator. You want to have transformation in your communication, but you're too busy to back up your computer. So we'll give you an experience where you have to deal with your communication and your computer. That's how I started to look at life, and it just started to make more sense rather than just freaking out, just accepting that, wow, right now we're having challenges in Mercury and healing, because Ophiuchus is the sign for coming into awareness about healing. And then Chiron is in Neptune, that's Imhotep and Nebuchadnezzar in this system. So it's time to release our emotions. Like Chiron has been in Nebuchadnezzar for so long, and it goes back and forth between retrograde and direct. So I haven't been very consistent following, because I've been having so many problems with the website that I use to get the information, which is another Mercury retrograde. And then Heru or Uranus, Sedna, and Amun. That's Uranus, Sedna, and Jupiter are in sidereal Taurus, retrograde. So that's what I was talking about. Finding new ways to move beyond materialism, because I've been so focused on what's going on in my material realm, all these hacks and attacks and Decepticons and like just a whole bunch of stuff. And I've got to find a balance between the physical and the spiritual, like my practical life, things I have to do, and then my spiritual work, my devotional practice. Since I've started going live again, that's shifted it for me again. I've got to be like Sekhmet, I've got to be like really on point, on time. I can't go over. I can't just, I don't have any time to waste. I know time doesn't exist, but good rising, great awakening. Constance says she loves retrograde. And then Mars or Set is retrograde in sidereal Cancer or Kepler. That's the one I was just talking about. So these are opportunities for change and growth and transformation in these areas. So I definitely need to be victorious in the physical realm on Taurus, on the earth. And I definitely need to expand my consciousness around these things dealing with the earth, because I just was feeling so helpless. And we're not helpless. It's all our mindset, So, so that was me talking about all that. Constance, why do you love retrogrades? Why do you love retrogrades? Can you share with us why you love retrogrades? Anybody else? What do you do during Mercury retrograde? Do you, pull back and not do anything? I think it goes, let me see, when does it go direct? Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, my other device is uploading, so I can't look it up really quick. Let's see, maybe I can over here. I'm just going to go see when does Mercury go direct. I think you can still see me. Because that's the one we notice the most, because it happens so often. Uh-oh. And it's always changing. The other ones, they're stayed retrograde for a long time. Okay, so it goes direct on December 15th. It goes direct on December 15th. So we have, it's almost over. Yeah. It pulls the mask off of people who are fake. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I believe that it was during this retrograde time with Mercury that I finally got the courage to detach myself from loved ones that were estranged. I've spent the past 14 years thinking that something would happen and we would have a reconciliation, but I haven't done anything to initiate it, and neither have they. So my spirit guides, or whatever you want to call them, said I need to do ceremony with the pink rose crystal quartz that I have, and just say farewell. And ever since I did that, I've been feeling different about my life. But I still don't really know what I'm supposed to do with it, with the rest of it. I haven't figured that out. And as my dad would say, well, if you don't know what to do next, just keep doing what you're doing. So that's what I've been doing for a while. Let's see. Candace says, and for real, for me, it shines a bright light on things that I'm going or feel I'm not ready to face. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is true. That would definitely be me dealing with Heru and or Uranus and Jupiter. Independence, freedom, expansion of consciousness about situations. Like, do you stay or do you go? It's as simple as that. So I guess I'm waiting for light on that regards. I know what I want to do, but that could be my ego wanting me to stay safe and not make change. I told myself that this is where I need to be here. So I don't know. Okay. Venus retrograde is my favorite. I've had the hardest realizations and heart chakra hard lessons were learned through this time. Well, thank goodness Venus is in retrograde today. I think I could take more of that. Okay. Well, let's see. I hope you enjoyed that little sound healing session. I have said I was going to start doing what's called like subscription service classes on Wellness Wednesdays. I haven't figured out what that would entail. So we just keep going with this for now. I don't really know. I made the space for it, but I haven't figured it out. I know last time a young woman asked me to look up her chart, and I don't know if she's on here today, but I haven't forgotten. I just got access to the website again, so I will be sending it to you. I thought it would be fun to talk about this book, Dr. Joy DeGruy, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. I developed a protocol for using sound healing to address the content of her work. However, I've never found anyone willing to sign up for the sessions. So I haven't done anything with it in years. So far, I've only done it on myself. And I did it the same time I was doing the 40-day prosperity plan. I don't know how I made the time to do that work together. I really don't know how I don't have that kind of time today. I don't have that many hours in the day to do that work. But I had some amazing results from doing that. Yeah, it was really amazing. So I just thought we could explore a little bit more of this book together. Are you anyone on the call familiar with Dr. Joy's work, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome? PTSS. It applies to all types of people, not just descendants of slaves. It also applies to people doing forced migration, like on the Trail of Tears. And it also applies to descendants of the slave owners, if you really think about it. I know her work is strictly dealing with descendants of slaves. However, you could apply the same treatment or the same protocol for descendants of slaves. Oh, you never read it. Okay. Yeah, this is Mystical Soul says they read it, but they've heard of it, but they've never read it. They're familiar with it. This is not the whole book. Our whole book is like super big. This is just the handbook or the study guide. And what I did was I just went through, and she has 10 steps to healing in the back. I think each one is one of the chapters. I think each one of the steps refers to one of the chapters. And I just developed a protocol for each one of these 10 steps of healing. That's why it's 10 sessions. And when I had my first Kim Tone's Cosmic Sound Healing class, we met in Jamaica. The students helped me just develop the protocol. I hope it's still at my website. My website has been through a lot of changes. So today I thought we could I'll read a little bit about what she says it is, and then go through the 10 steps. Not through a sound healing session today, but just to refresh my memory. So Dr. Joy DeGruy says that a lot of the conditions that are afflicting quote unquote Black Americans today, African Americans, or with my new perspective on life, Aboriginal Americans is the fact that the experience of slavery was so traumatizing for our ancestors that it's imprinted in us. It's in our DNA, it's in our cells. Women, it's in our blood, it's in our womb, it's in our breast milk. It's in, men, it's in their semen. It's like it's a part of who we are, and it's still afflicting us. We've been brainwashed, we've been conditioned, we've been poisoned, we've been genetically modified. Uh, yeah, I guess Constance says they think that she's crazy for even believing that post-traumatic slave syndrome exists. And yeah, I'm beginning to believe that the world believes that I'm crazy for most of the stuff I've been trying to do. Like, I must come off as a crazy woman. Like, one day I was handing out flyers about Pebble Beach. We're having a community meeting for Pebble Beach, which is a space in Chicago that they want to pave. And I had on a hat, I had on my parka, I had on my tennis shoes, my running shoes, I had a bag. And this one Caucasian man from the north, I swear he thought I was a homeless woman. He wouldn't even acknowledge my existence. He thought I was asking for money. And I said, "Excuse me, I just wanted to talk to you about Pebble Beach." And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I wonder if that's the way the world sees me, as just some crazy woman always talking about healing through sound. But anyway, she believes that if we go through steps that similar to just releasing trauma after you've been traumatized, like from an assault, because this is an assault, right? We've been living under this regime for at least 2,000 years. I mean, most people would say 1492 or whatever, but come on now. We, as a whole, as Aboriginal people on every continent, we've been dealing with this for at least 2,000 years. So we're really traumatized. We're just passing on our trauma to our children. And so, economical slavery, spiritual slavery, institutional slavery, just like it's anything you think of, we're enslaved. So you just read a little bit about what she says about her own work. And this is from the introduction. And this again is the handbook. It's not the whole book. And you can find her work online, Dr. Joy DeGroot. I reached out to her when I came up with this protocol. She never contacted me again. And I was hoping to get a grant so that I could offer the 10 sessions to 10 people and see the transformation in their lives. Because my life changed dramatically. I took myself through the program twice online. Like, you could log in and see me doing the self-care with the tuning forks. Maybe I need to do one with the chimes and just record. Ooh, let me write that down. I'll do one with the chimes and just make an audio recording. I'm making all these great notes, but when am I going to go back through them? That's what I'll do. It won't be the same as like putting the points on the kidney, the tones on the kidney points, because the trauma is stored in the water in our bodies. It's stored in our kidney points, our liver. We have so much anger in us. And then the heart chakra, because our hearts are broken, things like that. I really wish I could find someone who would go through the 10 sessions. I just can't afford to do that much work without any compensation. But anyway, I will work on that, the protocols. That's the part I don't understand. I love doing this work. I would love to just do it forever. I just don't see how, and that's part of my doubt. I just don't see how it can continue. Like, yeah. Don't focus on the material, right? Focus on the spiritual. But you have to focus on the material sometimes. Okay. In 1808, the United States officially ended the transatlantic slave trade. This marked the conclusion of the legal international capture and shipping of humans from the continent of Africa to the shores of America. In 2008, the United States marked the bicentenary bicentenary of this most important event. Yet there has been little acknowledgement of this significant anniversary. Perhaps the reason, in part, is that it did not end. Africans continued to be illegally captured, sold, and shipped to America after 1808. Side note, and we know that not all of the Aboriginal, aka Black people that were captured and enslaved came from Africa. My research has shown that, and this is part of wellness, it's not politics or history, this is wellness. Thank you, Mystical Soul. It's great that you were here today. Um, it's part of our wellness, just getting into this information and allowing it to transform our consciousness. Um, it's proven that, or there's information that shows, and again, this is for edutainment purposes. This is my opinion based on my research. I'm not stating that it is absolute truth or fact. This is just my observations, and I do this for fun. This is what's fun for me. This is my passion, and what I love to do is find ways to defeat Western imperialism. That's my hobby. That's all this is. But there's evidence that shows that the majority of the people that were captured and enslaved were already from here. They were already here. There's even information that states that people in Africa were involved in this cover-up. Like, they say that kings enslaved captured their own people. They even helped with the spreading the quote-unquote misinformation that we all came from Africa. So, but again, that's just my opinion or my conjecture or what I've learned in my research. I don't have receipts, but I know people that do have receipts. Katrina Brown's documentary, Traces of the Trade, A Story from the Deep North, is a startling example of how the trading of enslaved Africans continued long after it was made illegal in 1808. In her film, Mrs. Brown traces the history of her ancestors, the DeWolfs, the largest slaveholding family in United States history, revealing how they gained their place among the wealthiest families in America. Surprisingly, the DeWolf family was not from the South. This is a story about a white New England family from Bristol, Rhode Island. The DeWolfs continued trading in slaves long after 1808 with the assistance of Thomas Jefferson, among others. President Jefferson appointed a member of the DeWolf family to be the customs official responsible for monitoring the ports and who conveniently turned his head as his family ships sailed to and from Africa. Okay, there's more information on the history from the 2008, and then the last paragraph in this section says, the damage wrought by centuries of quote-unquote injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity cannot easily be undone. Our charge is to gather everything within our individual and collective knowledge, experience, and power to cure the ills caused by America's history and to use every reasonable means at our disposal towards this purpose. Okay, so to me, that means sound healing. Like when you read that, isn't the first thing you think of sound healing? That's the first thing I thought of when I read this. Okay. All right, so let's go through the 10 steps. She's got discussion questions, so when you come for the treatment, invite you to co-host. Bolo Don, will you give me an indication of what you want to chat about? I don't want to get off track here. So if you're interested in this discussion, speaking of discussion, let's read some of the discussion questions she has here. Discussion questions. What have you been taught about the meaning of race? Bolodan. All right, let's try it, Bolodan. Hello, Bolodan. Okay, you're gone. Okay, Bolodan's gone. Okay. What have you been taught about the meaning of race? I've been taught that there's 4 races, and if you don't fit into one of those races, you're mixed. Now I know that there's only one race, the human race. So I've done a lot of transformations. I don't even call myself black anymore. I know that I'm black, but I don't like on the um, applications or anything legal or political or revolutionary, things like that, or tribal. I don't refer to myself. I don't say I'm a black Cherokee or black Native, anything like. I don't do that anymore. The next question: what did your family teach you about the meaning of race? My family didn't teach me anything about the meaning of race. Not by talking to me, maybe just by observing them or living with them. Um, I, what I learned about my family and race is that you can have racism within the race. Back then, where does it go? If you're light, you're all right. If you're yellow, if you're white, you're all right. If you're yellow, you're mellow. If you're brown, stick around. If you're black, stay back. That's what I learned about race from my family. Okay, there's a bunch of questions here. What are some of the cultural values that you have? What are some of the cultural values that you have observed from others in your environment and community? With what you know about race, what changes can be made with regard to family, community, and society? With what I know about race, I think we need to decolonize our our relationships, our culture, our ways of living, our ways of thinking. That's why I stopped using their terminology to describe myself or to identify. Just like I don't want to identify with my ego, I don't want to identify with the racial constructs of Western imperialism. Let's see here. Chapter 2, a whole to 3/5 dehumanization. Let's see. There's a reading from the Hidden Words of Baha'u'llah. I guess that's from the Baha'i tradition. Know ye not why we created you all from the same dust, that no one should exalt himself over the other? Ponder at all times in your hearts how we were created. Since we have created you all from one same substance, it is incumbent on you to be even as one soul, to walk with the same feet, eat with the same mouth, and dwell in the same land, that from your inmost being, by your deeds and actions, the signs of oneness and the essence of detachment may be made manifest. Such is my counsel to you, O concourse of light. Heed ye this counsel, that ye may obtain the fruit of holiness from the tree of wondrous glory. All right. All right, here's an interesting paragraph. Over the years, and if you're just tuning in, I'm reading from Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. I've developed a sound healing protocol to address the issues she brings up in her book. And I'm putting out a call for anyone who's willing to come to Chicago and get 10 sessions towards PTSS or bring me to where you are. We could do a group healing on people, 10 sessions. Just putting it out there. You never know. Over the years, I have often been asked to share my thoughts about how white people in America have been negatively affected by the history of slavery. My first response was usually to point out present day evidences of quote unquote white supremacy, which I don't use that term anymore. We call it caucasity, because there's nothing superior or supreme about the way these people have been behaving and the hate crimes that are spurned from it. But by far the most alarming impact that slavery has had on Europeans is the perpetual failure of many white people to view Black people as complete human beings with equal value. This failure was graphically illustrated in the infamous picture of the 1935 lynching, that's when my mother was born, of Mr. Reuben Stacy in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My birth name is Stacy. I translated it to Tachia. It means rise again. Depicted in this photograph are well-dressed, ordinary white men, women, and children, all staring at the lifeless black man still hanging from the tool of execution, a tall tree. It is this callous disregard for black life passed down from generation to generation that leads to the continued dehumanization of people of African descent. Not just African descent, Aboriginal people all over the world. Consequently, it is this same indifference that has robbed countless black men, women, and children of their very lives and robbed countless white men, women, and children of their own humanity. See, that's the case for post-traumatic slave syndrome for people of Caucasian or European ancestry, because they do have this privilege, or this is a frequency that they have. There's conscious ones who are conscious and are aware of how terrible things are. However, they still perpetuate the benefit and privileges. Okay, so here are some discussion questions. What did you learn from your community, friends, teachers, colleagues, etc.? Oh, wait, reflection questions. Let's start there. What have you been taught about racial superiority and inferiority? How were your various family members affected by issues of superiority and inferiority? Identify how these beliefs or ideas were expressed. What has society taught you about inferiority? I didn't grow up with any awareness of racism or inferiority or superiority. I didn't grow up in any of that awareness. I didn't find out about it till I went to college, and that's when I had my rude awakening. But my family was a family of entrepreneurs and business people, and when we moved into our neighborhood on the south side, there was plenty of white people still in the block. I did notice when they were all gone, except two, within 2 years, but it didn't register. I was a figure skater, so I was always around quote unquote white people, or it was a diverse community. My high school was diverse. My elementary school was like we had white teachers at the school, because the school used to be an all white girls school, and then when the neighborhood changed, they made it co-ed, and then they opened it up to people in the neighborhood, basically. So it became a black school like overnight. So I didn't grow up with that, those issues. I just didn't. Okay, discussion questions. How do you define intelligence? What does it look like? Well, for me, intelligence is something from within us. It's divine intelligence from the cosmic mind of Djibouti. And that's to me what it is. And everything in life has intelligence. And how does it show up? It shows up by taking actions and doing things that are in alignment with nature and with spirituality. When I look into the world today, I see mostly ignorance. That's depressing. I mean, I just don't really fit in here in this realm. It's pathetic. You know, it's like, well, do I have to change everything about me so that I am more accepted in the world? Is that the choice I'm getting ready to make? Okay, well, yeah, so she just goes through the different chapters of the book with these cool discussion questions and reflections, and then the 10 points at the end that I turned into the protocol, 10 steps for healing. So I was just going to read through those. And if you're interested, you should be able to find the complete series. I've done it twice on the Kimatone's YouTube channel. So you could go through it yourselves. While I was going through the 10 steps, I had a student on there who was experiencing the webinar. And that's the thing with the tuning fork self-care. When I'm doing it on myself, it's as if you're experiencing the benefits of the session, even though you're however many miles away, because energy doesn't know the difference between time and space. That's why people can do Reiki distance healing. I was working with someone that wanted to record the sounds. They did illegally recorded the sounds of me playing the tuning forks. And then someone wanted to work with me doing like holding the tuning forks up to the microphone while they're on the phone, or I send them a recording of it. Because they said they didn't get the same effect with the chimes. I don't know. I'm writing it down. Yeah, I finally got the music room put back together. So I said I was going to start working on recordings again this weekend. So that's 2 ideas I got in this session today. One is to do the chimes with the post-traumatic slave syndrome, and the other is to record the sounds of the actual tuning forks and compose music with those sounds. All right, so these are the 10 steps to healing from Dr. Joy DeGury, How to Heal from Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Truthfulness, tell the truth. It is the foundation for health. So that would be Ma'at. How honest have you been in answering the questions in the previous chapters? How accurate have you been in answering the questions from the previous chapters? Number 2, know yourself, your history, and your personal legacy. Now that you have completed most of the study guide, do you know yourself, your history, and your personal legacy better than you did? If yes, in what ways? Number 3, tell your story. Preserve memories for those to come. How will you now begin to tell your story? With whom will you share it? Look beyond healing. Seek to be healthy. What is wellness to you? How will you know when you are well? That's a good question. I ask myself, how will I know when I'm well? Am I well? How will I know when I'm well? Like, how will I know? My life will change. Oh my gosh, it's starting to snow. Snowflakes. Okay. How will you maintain the degree of wellness that you achieve? Yeah, I feel like I've gone through different levels of healing and wellness, and I've retained, I'm way farther along than I was when I started this journey. And I found ways to maintain the level of wellness thanks to sound healing. Yeah, but there's a lot more to go. Number 4, build esteem, healthy and accurate. Healthy esteem is a reflection of what you have contributed and the awareness of your true contribution. What have you contributed to yourself, your family, your community, the society? What future contributions would you like to make? That's a good one. Yeah, I feel like I've made lots of contributions. I think what's holding me up from having healthy self-esteem is because since I haven't generated revenue or income from my contributions the way my ego wants to, I don't value them as much as I could. So that is really important. That's where I'm hung up right there. What future contributions would you like to make? Yeah. Control your inner world, manage stress and conflict. How well do you manage the stress in your life? Considering your coping strategies, are there things that you can do to better manage the stress in your life? When conflicts arise, how well do you resolve them? I would say I've gotten better at remaining calm when things are like really messed up. How about you? How do you feel about the way you handle stress, managing stress and conflict? My goal is to remain calm no matter what's going on, and to, um, wait until my intuition kicks in, or I get guidance from the spirit guides or ancestral guides, or like when I do the chimes, I get channel. I you say channeling, or I'm either channeling or I'm so tuned into the Neteru that I get like a download from them, or or like a puzzle, put the pieces together and then put the information together, and then something comes through, like when you're pouring two glasses of water into one vessel. Because I talk about the characteristics and planets, and then of the constellation. So that's what I'm doing when I'm doing the sessions. I don't have anything prepared ahead of time, it just comes. So when conflicts arise, how well do you resolve them? I do my very best to rely on my spirituality and my friends, I guess. Racial socialization, cultural preparation for the future. Given the effects of racist socialization, which of your beliefs and behaviors will you retain or discard? Well, that's a good one. I recently discarded identifying as Black, or as Black Native American, or as Native American. I've recently been identifying as Aboriginal American, and not just referring to Turtle Island, which is North America, but referring to North, Central, and South America as Tamari or Tamerica. Um, how will what you have learned be different from what you will pass down to future generations? Well, that's where it is. I've changed my whole perspective and outlook. Now that I understand that I have PTSD, PTSS, and I'm autistic, dealing with stress is a lot easier. As I'm learning to unmask, I let go. I let feelings come and go like waves instead of hiding my true self. Oh, that's powerful. Yes. Let the feelings come and go. Like I tend to hold on to the feeling and emotion, and then I don't want to express it, or um, that's what I used to do. But now, like you say, not hiding my true self. When somebody says something to me that's ridiculous, or it goes against I say something. And I used to not say anything because I was afraid of losing the relationship. Some people call themselves Solani now. Yeah, I think you mentioned that to me. I haven't heard that expression before. Solani. I'm gonna write it down. We have so many things in parallel, Constance. Oh, and this is Indai. I think I've seen you on TikTok also. Indai. Is it Indai or Indai? How do you pronounce it? Yeah. I think whatever it is that we call ourselves, it shouldn't be something we learn from Western imperialism. That's the main thing. I'm a triple water sign in sidereal astrology, Cancer rising, Pisces suns, and Scorpio moon, all the water. Yeah, so you got to let your emotions flow. You got to let the feelings come and go like waves. Yeah, I my in the Western system, my sun is in Leo. In the 13-month sidereal, it's in Cancer. Okay, it's good to see you here. Sidereal Cancer, which is a watery sign. And I've been so focused on the sidereal sign, I thought maybe I wasn't really creative because I don't have the sun in Leo, but I have Mars, Mercury, and something else in Leo. So I'm still really creative. This, um, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how I got away from my music. I got away from my music because I wanted to find a more tangible way to help people. And that's how I got into sound healing. So it's still my creativity. I don't know. I'm going through a lot right now. It's 6 planets in retrograde. But I'm enjoying these questions. I guess I haven't looked at them in a long time. I'm just going to keep going. Like I said before, eventually I'm going to start a class format for the subscription that comes like starting now. But since I don't have that really well established, I'm just going to keep going with this and I do some more with the chimes. I don't know. But I'm enjoying these questions and being here with you. What will you teach succeeding generations to better prepare them to function as healthy people of, I'm going to say, Aboriginal descent, not just African descent? African is included in Aboriginal, but not every other person in the world comes under African. Because I believe in reality it was one continent that broke up into pieces, and at that time it wasn't called Africa. So that's why I have this perspective now. What will I teach succeeding generations to better prepare them to function as healthy people of Aboriginal descent? Again, this is just my experience and what I enjoy and how I live my life. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'm not an expert at anything. I'm just on here learning. Instead of learning by myself, I'm learning with friends online. But I believe that to better prepare, like you could choose to be totally involved with the system and accept everything that they have in store for us, or you could find other ways to exist. And that's not easy at all. It's simple, but it's not easy. So that's what I'm all about: gardening, seed collecting, alternative energy, energy sources. Like I have propane heaters instead of paying people's gas. Then there's different ways to identify yourself on paper so that you're not feeding into the system. But that takes a lot of time and energy to resist. That's what I would like to do. I would like to succeed in these techniques myself and then make them available to others. In particular, I'm talking about the 508 C1A. I would like to see that work for us as descendants of the Aboriginal people. I know people that have done it and are doing it. So that's what I would like to really prepare to function as healthy people of Aboriginal descent, just to really build on the humanity instead of the monetization. That's simply put. Just a few more here. Build upon strengths, past and current. What personal strengths can you identify as a result of your reflections on the preceding chapters? Well, we didn't really go through the preceding chapters, so I'm not going to worry about that one. But we can talk about our personal strengths that you can identify. I think one of my personal strengths is my commitment to nature, natural healing, just nature. A lot of people aren't as committed to this as I've been able to be. I don't know what makes me different other than that. Like I'm hardcore all natural. I'm hardcore Aboriginal. I'm not willing to waver on that. Even like with diet, I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it is, I believe it's one of my strengths. I've been thinking a lot about sound healing for dogs. I can sense that it would be very helpful, and I haven't seen anyone talking about sound healing for dogs. Oh, well, I'm sure if you went to acutonics.com, you would find lots of people doing that. There's like a whole branch of acutonics just for animals, like horses. People on farms use their tuning forks. I'm sure if you looked up acutonics for animals, you'd find it. I just realized that another book that was lost when I moved to Chicago, because it has a whole chapter on animals. Yeah. Yeah, it's more than just a love of nature. I don't know if it's Indi or Inde. If you could put it on there, DI or DAY, so I can know which one it is. It's more of a trust in nature and a connection to nature, to always put it first. Maybe that's how I got drawn to the Neteru, the gods and goddesses, because the word word nature comes from Neter, because it's the cosmic forces of nature. Being able to identify them or feel them or be aware of them when I'm in nature. That's what I love, is just being connected to nature and using it for healing, trusting it. You know, if I have a health issue or wellness issue, my first choice is, what's the natural way? What's the natural alternative? I never say, oh my gosh, I need an aspirin. And this has been like a 40-year relationship. I've never, just not drawn to the Western standards. So, what familial strengths can you identify? I guess that means family, right? Familial. I don't really know the definition of that word right now. Let me see. Look it up, because my first reaction is familiar or family, and I'm just gonna look it up really quick. Don't share. Okay. Familiar. Okay, I guess this is AI talking. Oh no, this is a definition. Having to do with a phenotype or trait that occurs with greater frequency in a given family than in the general population. Familial traits may be related to shared genetic factors and or shared lifestyle or environmental factors. All right. What familial strengths can you identify? Like animals. And I like animals. Okay. Well, I suppose it'd be perseverance and endurance, gratitude and adversity. I would have to say I'm a little disappointed in my community and my family. And maybe that's something I need to heal in myself. The total unwillingness to change, the total unwillingness to accept truth unless white people talk about it on the news. So at this point, I'm not aware of it, you know, on a grand scale. Oh, right. That's why I looked it up. I thought it was about familiars, supernatural beings that are believed to help witches, wizards, and other practitioners of magic. Yeah, that's why I looked it up, because I didn't really know what familial meant. It sounded like familiars. It sounded like familiar. It sounded like family. So it's a phenotype. So, yeah, I like to say I'm a little disappointed, and that's my ego. But really, I'm disappointed in humanity for not being able to change. I mean, I'm not perfect. I need to change, but the kind of change I'm talking about, I found a way to make a change in my life. I haven't found a way to be financially, what's the word? Financially free by making this choice, which is probably why people aren't willing to make the choice. But if enough of us made the choice at the same time, it would work. That's what I believe. What community strength can you identify? Same thing. In my community, there's a organization, Greater Chatham Initiative, and they got a grant. And what's their big plan for the community? To help the people in the community that need it the most in Chicago. They really need help. They need a place to go. They need a place where they can just hang out and just be. If they're, instead of in front of a liquor store, that's what they need. They just need something to do that doesn't cost a lot of money. I mean, so what are they going to do? They got all this money, grants. They paid artists to paint murals of Mahalia Jackson, who was a great woman, a great member of the community back in the day. And they're going to paint the intersections, the sidewalks and the streets. They're going to be bright and colorful. The neighborhood needs healthy food. They started a farmer's market. I went twice, and there was only a watermelon man there. There was a lady selling lemonade, someone selling candles, someone had like food prepared, but there wasn't anyone selling produce, and they called it a farmer's market. So I don't know what the community strengths are other than endurance and the ability to survive oppression. But overcoming, we got tricked into overcoming by going into the system. And we should have overcome by removing ourselves from the system. And yes, I do consider this topic to be wellness. Thank you for the acutonic reference. I've been thinking about going to a veterinary tech school, but I really don't like Western medicine. Oh yeah, they have a whole section on animals, acutonics for animals. Yeah, I got kicked out of the institute, but you'll have better success. You're not trying to do something as controversial as comedic sound healing, and you're not an Egyptologist. Yeah, if I just chosen more practical endeavors. Yeah. Anyway, there's two more. Model health. Be the healing that you seek. Are you modeling values and integrity consistent with health? I would say so. I'm modeling values and integrity consistent with health. I think my weakness is I'm not consistent with my own sound healing self-care. And when times get hard, since I'm a lone wolf, I get kind of discouraged. But I always manage to come out of it. But I am modeling values and integrity consistent with health. What type of leadership am I modeling in my family and in my community? Am I modeling my spiritual or religious beliefs? What kind of leadership am I modeling in my family and my community? Well, there's only have one family member left. Oh, good rising, Sunshine Baker. Thank you for tuning in today and for tapping the screen. What kind of leadership am I modeling? Well, I've been modeling leadership by example. When I joined this path, I lost most of my family. I have one person left that I consider family. Everyone else is relatives or estranged. And so I just haven't wavered from my spiritual path or my healing wellness path. I haven't strayed from the path. And the one family member that still speaks to me is on a similar path, but in her own way, which is fabulous. It's a way that's working. Am I modeling my spiritual beliefs? I certainly am. I definitely am walking the talk. Last but not least, look in the mirror. Growth and change are continuous. Self-assessment. None of us have arrived. We have just agreed to take the trip. Well, that's a nice one. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a rough road for sure. I understand. Yes, Sunshine, it is. It's a rough road, and it's a lonely road. It's a lonely road, or maybe it's an individual road. What? No, not lonely. It's a solitary road. That's what it is. When I joined the spiritual path, when I started on my path, I had my husband with me, and I had our spiritual teacher, my best friend, and they were right there with me every step of the way. And then I had a band. I had the different musicians in the band with me. And when I was in that spiritual temple, it was virtual, but I had temple members with me. And now I don't have any of those support, and um, it's just me. Sunshine says, I feel lonely at times. I'm hoping that it doesn't last forever. Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not at liberty to say certain words, but in 2020, when everything was the way that it was, everything was online, virtual. We weren't able to be with people very much. And I love futuristic movies, Star Wars and Continuum, anything about the future. I'm really into it. Time travel. And it looks pretty lonely. Everyone is in their living quarters, and you work with people, and you're on a spaceship traveling through time or whatever. It seems to be solitary. So that's another way to like resist the matrix or the powers that be, is by continually seeking out other like minds and not giving up on the concept of community. I recently started buying my produce exclusively from farmers markets instead of going to the corporate chain grocery stores, or there's still a really small grocery store called Local Produce in Chicago. I just tend to get my produce from those places, and that sense of community is really powerful and has helped me so much. Let's see, I should have asked Sunshine to, let's see, I don't know how to ask you to join the live. I don't know how to do that. Oh, I'm too late. Oh, Mystic Bowie was here too. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll just keep going. Um, Anyway, so none of us have arrived. We have just agreed to take the trip, and it's a solitary journey. On your spiritual journey or your healing wellness journey, it's you that's going through the healing, not the people around you that are supporting you, but it's your healing journey. So, but I guess that's a good one. I always kept thinking I would get to a certain level in life and then everything would be okay. And it's just constantly moving. It's never, I'm never gonna, I guess once I arrive, my body will go back to the earth and I will move on. But just acknowledging that it is a solitary journey. We do have our ancestors with us and our celestial guides. But on earth, it can be solitary. I remember one of my friends would say, well, we can't all come together because then we'd all be in one place. And then it would be easy for them to, remove us from this existence. And that's why we're so spread out. I don't know. You just tell yourself things to feel better. Okay, here are the discussion questions. How willing are you to continue the process of examining yourself? I'm constantly examining myself, like every minute. Was that the right decision? But it seems like the right decision is the first one that comes from your heart, not the panicking, fearful one, but the one that's like, da 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 da, do this. The one's like, oh no, what should I do? What's going to happen? Should I do this? Should I do this? That's not the one. But when I'm listening to the one, I set the intuition or my heart, like, you just feel it. That is, constantly examining myself. How willing are you to continue critiquing what you have been raised to believe? Oh, forever. I mean, and constantly critiquing what I've been raised to believe. I really wasn't raised to believe anything. I was just the inner knowing. Yes, I was just left to find that out on myself. Once I didn't believe in Santa Claus anymore, my mom and I really didn't have much to talk about. Every time I don't listen, I'm upset with myself, and normally it ends badly. Yeah, it does. It really does. That's why I'm going through so much right now with my situation, because the inner knowing, the guidance, the vision is to stand firm in my condition and not conviction, and not wave, not leave. Keep my boat sailing in this. That's my inner knowing. And so when I doubt that and say, well, maybe that's not right, maybe that's, how do we go against yourself? You can't. You just can't. I wish we could meet for brunch or something, but I'm in Ohio. Okay. Well, maybe we can. I'm in Chicago. I went to Oberlin College in Ohio. I've never been back because it was so traumatic, so traumatizing, and people say I need to go back. So who knows, Sunshine? We'll stay in touch. I'm supposed to go visit some relatives in Indiana. I just don't have a car. If I had a car, I'd say, don't worry, I'll come to you. But yeah, let's stay in touch, Sunshine Baker. You just never know. You never know. I used to be I was like so set on, what do they call it? Home house concerts, setting those up around the country. And I would go to a place and there'd be like 20 people in somebody's living room that wanted to hear my music or receive the sound healing. I wouldn't have to go find them. They were already there. And then I had that horrible incident at a reggae concert, and I was like, you know what? I'm not getting in a car traveling across the country by myself. Indianapolis, Lola LaBruja's in Indianapolis. I'd love to get a session from you. Well, that's so funny. You all are saying this because I told myself told me that before I go back to Mexico or Brazil or Ecuador or Peru or back to Kemet, I need to take a tour of the mounds. That's my live stream that got banned last time, because I was not because I was talking about the mounds. What I said, they took what I said out of context, but I wasn't talking about the mounds. But it was the mounds episode that's banned. You can't catch it. And so I said, I'm going to set up a mounds tour. I want to visit the mounds and set up little events. Yeah. Okay. Lola Bruja says, yes, go. I've only visited one in Muncie, Indiana. There's one in Cahokia, Illinois, just like a couple of hours from here, or several hours. I haven't been. I've got relatives from St. Louis, my ancestors. And then my great-grandmother, she had a gig on a ferry boat up and down the Mississippi River, which we know was the original Happy River. The word Nile is the Arabic term. So this is fun talking about this. Maybe we could set something up where I would get a car and I would just, you all would arrange to have some people there that wanted to get a sound healing and attend a little concert for a donation of some kind. And, that's what I said I wanted to do, a mounds tour. I want to go see the mounds and like have a ceremony at the mounds. Because I'm always talking about these other cultures. And I know that the mounds weren't built by the native. Oops. I believe. I'm not saying that it's true. This is just what I believe. Okay. Thank you so much. All right, Sunshine Baker. I'm going to work on this. Sunshine Baker on TikTok in Ohio. And Lola is in Muncie, Indiana. And Constance, I don't remember if you're in Florida. I don't know. Constance, tell me where you're located. And I will put it out there to the universe about the Mounds Tour, because I'm supposed to have this thing called Concert on the Nile, right? So, Orlando, okay. So that would be a concert on the Mississippi, like my great grandmother did. She had She had a gig on a ferry boat on the Mississippi River. She played the harp, the cello, and the violin. No, the harp, the cello, and the piano. And that's why I started playing the harp. She's going up to Virginia soon. Okay. You'll probably be up there before I do anything like this. Yeah, but I just really feel like I need some sort of inspiration to keep going because I've tried so many things. That's what my friend was saying. You've tried everything. You've done so many things. I've done things people only dream of. And now, so what am I supposed to do now? I don't know. Okay. Well, anyway, that was that. Okay. Well, oh, I haven't read this page. Then I'll stop. Then I'll do some more of the sound healing. I never saw this. Maintaining and strengthening change requires that you continue to ask yourself the following. And this is from Dr. Joy DeGruy, post-traumatic slave syndrome. I have a sound healing protocol for healing this wound in our hearts and our wounds. Is what I have learned, one, influenced by the fear, hurt, or injury of those who taught me. Okay, so I have to go past and current, present. Past, yes. Current, no. Two, is what I have learned going to lead to my being fearful, hurt, or mentally, emotionally, or physically injured? From the past, yes. From the present, no. I think I'm doing good so far. Is what I have learned valid and effective in the same way for me as it was for those from whom I learned it? I guess for all the ones on the past would be no. So I'm just going to go with present. Valid and effective in the same way for me as it was for those whom I've learned it from. So I'm going to go with Kemet University, Acutonics, Sound Healing School, things like that. Yes. Well, valid and effective in the same way for me as it was. I would have to say I have yet to learn how to monetize any of this. I'm just being real because that's part of wellness. Lola, it was so weird because the Muncie Mound is in the middle of a white people's neighborhood. I just know there were people looking out their windows. There are those natives visiting that dirt hill and hugging trees again. Well, they're just going to have to deal with it because we're coming. We're definitely going to be visiting there. Yeah, I looked up somehow they were dismantled. They used the bricks to build other structure, or not the bricks. They used when I say the bricks, I mean the stones or whatever the architecture that was on top of the mound. They dismantled those. Some of them, they dug up the mounds and used the dirt for other things. They are always finding native artifacts. Yeah, the guy in the one in Cahokia. Oh, and what part of the country are you in for when I book this Mound House concert tour? I'm gonna come visit the mounds and then go visit someone. They found Egyptian artifacts at the one, and there's a quote unquote white guy that has a museum there, and I want to go before he's gone. They found Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon. They found Egyptian artifacts in the Temple of the Red Queen in Palenque in Mexico. Speaking of the Grand Canyon, and this is just me having fun talking about these things. This is not me saying that it's true. I haven't been there myself. I haven't observed it for myself. I'm not speaking truth. I'm speaking my observations and research. That the Grand Canyon was not formed by water erosion, but by ancient mining. They mined something there, and that's what's left. And that when you see like Kitt's Peak or Devil's Peak, where it's just like a mountain with the roof, the top cut off, like the one in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that's actually an ancient gigantic tree. And the trees were once as big as our apartment buildings, and they were just cut down, and those were just the tree stumps. And that the Grand Canyon is the remnants of a mining project. Anytime you see canyons like that, where it just looks like it's from another planet. Anyway, let's go down the rest of this list because I'm having fun. Based upon superstition. Well, again, the things I knew in the past, definitely. I guess this is really for people who need to decolonize their minds. And once you decolonize your mind and your heart, then your answers would be no. But if you're still colonized, then your answers would be yes. Something I feel obligated to accept and pass along. If so, why? Yeah. Things that I feel obligated to accept and pass along are universal truths. Because, that's what my whole music was all based on, was sharing these wisdom teachings of the four directions. Why? Because nobody was talking about them in my community, in my Texas. Okay. Well, I'll definitely be going back to Texas because I started playing music in Austin, Texas. Okay. I'm just putting it out there. I said I want to set up a mound tour. So that's what we'll probably talk about on Tuesday, since that episode was banned. I just want to talk about that other stuff. I wasn't even talking about this stuff. I just used one word. Anyway. I feel obligated to accept and pass along these wisdom teachings and spiritual teachings, because if I don't, who will? Who is? Oh, Dallas Amaru. Who is going to take it upon themselves to put every passage of the Persian to music, so that when your body's passing away, you can sing the passages and not have to remember them, because you sang them while you were alive, and while you're laying there getting ready to go to sleep for the last time, you just start singing them. I feel obligated to do that. Why? Because that's what my spirit guides have told me to do. Number 6, is what I have learned going to encourage me to look beyond what I have been taught, to seek more and perhaps better answers? Yes. What I've learned in the past, I would say no, it did not encourage me to look beyond. My trauma is what encouraged me to look beyond what I've been taught and seek more and perhaps better answers. And now, now I'd have to say that what I've been taught by my recent teachers definitely has propelled me to seek better answers, because I don't accept their answers. I accept their teachings that they taught me, but I don't accept their position on it, and that's when I had to leave. Is what I've learned recently harmful in any way? If so, how and why? I'd have to say no. I don't see how it's harmful in any way, other than getting violations when you talk about it. Something that I have not questioned out of respect for those who taught me. Yes, I would definitely say no in the past, because in the past I remained silent. But now I do question out of respect. I question things that I've learned recently out of respect for my higher self, not for my teachers. If I remained loyal to them, I wouldn't be moving forward. Is what I've learned part of an unexamined dogma or tradition? In the past, I would say no, it was examined. In the present, I would say yes, these are unexamined dogmas and traditions, because they're ones I'm coming up with. I hope you all are taking time to answer these questions for yourself too, not just listening to me ramble. So, here we go. Is what I have learned something that I have accepted because I lack answers and doubt my ability to find ones that work? I would say yes. I would say with the stuff that I've learned recently, I was afraid to move forward because I've been accused of plagiarism, and I don't really have ways to pay people for what I learned from them. I don't. It's priceless. But recently, I've decided to just go forward anyway and find answers that do work. Find healing protocols for people from here. Not that we're just always, talking about going back to Africa or comparing ourselves to European standards, but what are our protocols for here? What can I activate with sound here that will impact people here? That's what it's done for me. Um, is what I've learned based upon sound information? Is it factual or true? Um, I believe so. I wouldn't be studying it if it wasn't based on truth. It's based on the truth of our ancient masters. First, when I said sound information, I laughed because it's sound healing. Last one, something I have been inspired to believe or to do. Yes, this is something that I've been inspired to believe and do. Okay, well, I have some great notes from that session, today's session. A lot of good ideas, inspiration to look into this mound tour. Um, yeah, that's what I would like to do. I guess I was hoping somebody else would organize it and pay me to do it. But I'm going to do it myself somehow with the help of my ancestors and guides. And so I thought I could close out with another sound healing session, not for the retrogrades, but just for, not necessarily for the retrogrades, but just for what's going on today, like the ones I didn't do earlier. So let's pull the chart back up. Okay. So yeah, we did most of them. We did 6 alignments. I think what I would like to do is Saturn in Aquarius, the moon is in Pisces, and the sun is in Ophiuchus with Mercury. So I think I would like to work on those. So I'm just going to take a minute to change out the chimes here. And bring the sun. So what was in? Oh, the moon. And Capricorn. Saturn is in Aquarius. Okay. I'm just going to change some of these out. Well, it's really warm now. I think I can turn the heater down. I'm going to waste it. So the moon is in Neptune, and Saturn is in Aquarius. Keep this one. Let's see what message is coming today. Saturn. Maybe that's the only one that's missing. It seems like I'm missing. I'm only missing one. I'm sure I'll find it. I'm missing one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep. I'm going to add the sun. I'm definitely ready to jump through all these portal openings to the other side of change. growth, transformation, security. So Saturn, Aquarius. I know I have a lot of challenges with Saturn, and I guess I need to see it as a blessing instead of a curse. That's all. To see it as a blessing instead of a curse. Wait, Saturn is in Aquarius. Oh, that's the moon. Okay. And then this one, the grounding. Okay. I'm going to do one more session and then we will call it a day. So you can see, well, you can't really see that great here. So I'm going to be dealing with, I'll take the chart down now. Oh. You can see them all. You can see most of them TikTok, not all of them. Okay. Take this one down. Okay, you can see them all. How do I see it? Not that. Thought I had it up here. Okay. Yeah, just to confirm. So we have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in sidereal Ophiuchus or Imhotep. Then Saturn is in Aquarius. That's Geb and Heru. And the moon in sidereal Pisces. So that's what I've chosen to focus on today for this closing out session. And I remember this. Yeah, so this one is going out to all of us who are moving away from post-traumatic slave syndrome, be it from enslavement or forced migration travel tears, or being descendants of the slave owners. And then for people who've made the path or the choice to be on the spiritual path, to find upliftment in adversity. And for me, I want to see my Saturn transit as a blessing instead of a curse. Just a minute, I just wanted something else. Okay. This is weird. I got these ankle bells. Nothing told me to get them. I've never done this before. future. That's the only destination. Bright future is freedom. Enlightenment is assured. Still the victory is assured. As you travel across the earth, spreading healing and victory. Keep dreaming, keep seeking, keep seeing the truth, the light of truth. It shines within you. The light of truth shines within you. Look and move. Don't cry. Don't you hold Don't get haunted. Look never Look the shelter. Look at you. Look at Look at Look at I am building structures and stability for humanity. Cabins are building structure and stability for humanity. Let's manifest stability and security for humanity. For humanity. For humanity. On the dance. On the dance. On the dance. All right, that was different. Sometimes my voice changes and it's not really my normal singing voice. It's like an ancestral voice. It doesn't always sound really pretty. And at first I used to be like, oh no, what's going on with my voice? But it is my ancestral voice. So it's beautiful just the way it is. Okay, yeah, so I don't usually, I usually only do these during quote unquote Aboriginal or Native American spirit work, medicine wheel work. And somebody told me to put them on and dance with them with the chimes because I'm working on the, healing to America. So, I don't know. Anyway, that was really fun. And it was so weird. Oh, yeah, okay, with that. I was thinking about getting a haircut. Okay, and I enjoyed that. Wonderful. And some people were on here. I don't know who's on here now, but I thank you for being here now. And yeah, so we're going to conclude our Wellness Wednesday session for today. Like I said, I'm planning to initiate the classes for this. I'm not really sure what it is. If it's a self-care class or just chimes and astrology and pendulum readings. That is not clear, but I have set it up. On YouTube, I found out that even though I have enough quote unquote subscribers or followers, I don't have enough to go live yet. I mean, to offer the subscriptions yet. So when I do offer the subscriptions, you would have to go over to TikTok. And then, of course, we don't know how long TikTok is going to be available. I saw videos today that said all you have to do is um, change your location to Canada or Japan and then re-upload the app. I don't know, but that's positive because I do enjoy going live on TikTok. And I've made some connections here on YouTube. I didn't always have this. And so this is really nice. I really like going live on TikTok and YouTube, even though I'm going like this the whole time. So I'm not sure about the classes for Wellness Wednesday yet. So anyway, on Tuesdays, we have Tamerican Tuesdays where we talk about Tamerica, mostly from the cosmology perspective, like the mounds and the sacred sites, and comparing the hieroglyphs from Maya Olmec culture with Kemet, because this was Tameri. And we get into the cosmology, the galactic nature, the galactic culture. That's my passion, and Sirius. And so on Tuesdays, after I go live, public live, we're going to have the Akusaneb reflective movement meditation, hand pan. I'm not sure what a hand pan is. Like one of those little, looks like a little metal orb thing with holes in it, and you tap it like that. Is that what you mean? And we had our first session yesterday. It was quote unquote complimentary because no one has signed up for the subscription yet. I don't know how that's going to go. But anyway, it was really fun. It was the first time it was presented online publicly. Well, that will be Tuesdays starting at 9:30. I'll go live from 8 till 9 and then set up the yoga studio with the slideshow. Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Wellness Wednesdays, talking about different topics in wellness, or I'm just reading from books or doing sound healing or astrology or pendulum readings. It looks so, yeah, I've seen those. Yeah. And I've seen those. Those are nice. They're nice and portable. And then Thursdays, Natarian Devotion, where we learn about the Neteru, the cosmic forces of nature, the gods and goddesses. I share my experiences on having a Natarian practice. Talks about setting up the altar. We do some chanting. I do reading from Dr. Ashby's books. And then the live stream, the virtual temple membership on Thursdays will be actual devotional music offerings and the guided meditation. So it'll be more like my devotion practice. I'll probably have on white clothing on Thursdays. And so I hope some of you are able to join this virtual temple membership. Practical realities, expanding my consciousness, learning how to activate my streams of income. I have several streams of income. They need to be activated. Okay, so that's all for today, Wellness Wednesday. I'm so grateful that this community is forming here with Lola and Di and Constance. Keep in mind that sometimes I'm on the Chemitones channel for the sound healing, and I'm on the Tamerican Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to be on the music channel, because eventually I'm going to release the recording of the chants that go along with the yoga system, and all of my recordings, all my music is about Tamerican wisdom and studies, and so I want to be incorporating the music. I'm going to start. My intention is on Saturday and Sunday, since I don't have any other plans that I'm aware of. Just make sure before I start saying. I'm going to activate my music studio again and finish these songs. I don't know if you know, on the Chemitones channel, I have a chant, Om Amun Rapata, that now is up to 51,000 views. And it's not monetized because I didn't release the song on Spotify. So I don't know if there's any chance of back revenue. I'm determined to release that song on Spotify. Uh, there's really no reason why. The reason why it's not is because I was looking for a man to finish editing it and mixing it and mastering it, and I had to let that go. I could do it myself. It's made, yeah. I'm just so used to how it used to be. I would spend thousands of dollars to record music back in the day, and since I'm not able to do that financially, I just feel like I can't do anything. But I can. Standards have changed. Just put it up on an MP3 and keep it moving. I That one song that has 51,000 views, I recorded it on my phone. You can hear my iPhone, my headset microphone brushing against the collar of my jacket, and people said it sounds like the ocean. They don't even care. It's just my ego that's like, oh, everything has to be so much. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I see someone just now is dropping in, and we are just now about to say farewell. If you are interested, though, you can catch the replay on my Kimatones YouTube channel. I will be back here on TikTok tomorrow for Natarian Devotion on Thursdays. And on YouTube, I will be back on the Arit Tachia Ahmet Music channel tomorrow for Natarian Devotion. Thank you for those who tapped the screen and gave me some gifts, which was always fun. And thank you for my wonderful community on YouTube. We are planning, I'm going to give these instructions to my ancestors about this mound tour. I'm going to have to go to St. Louis because that's where Annabelle Spurlock Gray was from. So let me not forget that. I want to say Kansas City because there's the Kansas City, Missouri, right? Yeah, I have photographs of her. They're in the other room. But Annabelle, I have to go there. Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, but maybe it was Kansas because my grandmother taught at the University of Kansas. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go to both because I'm sure there's mounds in both places. Okay, Dua, thank you so much for being here. I really love being here with you. Thank you. Peace. Yes.